a 3-2 victory over Clitheroe in our last pre-season friendly here at Shawbridge.
Yeah, lots and lots of things to like. First of all, I thought our transitional play was brilliant. We actually had 3 1v1s first half and went in at 0-0, so there was lots about our movement in the final third that I liked. There was lots about just that general play that I liked. I mean, we've played a team that will be very much top end of the league below. They are built for our league, I think, in terms of their physicality, the players that they've got here. You know, it's a great setup, great club, isn't it? And they've looked after us really well. So it was the perfect end to our pre-season. I'm pleased that we've found a way to win the game, because whilst it's not important, it is important. There was elements of the second half that I loved. I loved how our forward passes, forward runs, how clinical we were in around the 18-yard box. You know, we probably should have scored 6 second half from the chance perspective. But there was an element of the last 15 minutes that I'm really disappointed about. I was hoping to get into the season before I had to raise my voice a little bit, but that's not us. What we did for the last 15 minutes was not us, and was really disappointing from a lot of players who know better. And listen, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter, but you shouldn't be hanging on for the last 5 minutes of a game like that when we were in complete control at 3-0. So there's a learning, because there's a really good learning from us from that today. It might just be a little bit of reality check, which might be nice, but yeah, from that perspective, it served a purpose. From a first 11, first 16 for next week, I probably had them quite well cemented in my head, and now I've got some questions. So that's the job, isn't it, to pick the team for next week.
So it was a bit of a cliche, a game of 2 halves. Played 2 fairly different teams during those halves. The first half very defensively solid. Second half, lots of attacking threat from the likes of 𝗕𝗂𝗏𝗏, who was moving into the channels.
Yeah, lots of it. I thought we had good attacking threat, but more of a sort of a counter-attacking threat second half, because, you know, with Charlie and with Jake, they've got that capacity. I mean, Jake's the third goal from Jake is 𝗕𝗂𝗏𝗏. It's what he does. It's what he's so good at. So yeah, we wanted to tinker with some things and have a look at a few different things today. Obviously, we've got Grandy who came in and played really well. Thought Stefan didn't get much change out of Grandy today, that was for sure. So I thought he was really assured in that position. Obviously, we've got 2 trialists out there which we've done deals with, so we'll have those 2 over the line by early next. Well, they are over the line now, but we'll have them out by next week, and that will give us a squad of 21, 22, including Lewis, who's just here for the first 3 games. So yeah, 2 different teams, because we wanted to look at 2 different things, and I think getting that was what we wanted to get from the game, and ultimately that's what we have got from the game. So yeah, pretty much.
You mentioned the signing there of Simon Grant, vastly experienced. He's now his 24th season as a footballer. How important is that, just have that defensive bolster back in there?
Yeah, well, there's a couple of things that we need to be aware of. We know that 𝗙𝗍𝗙𝗍's got some work commitments this season that we need to be aware of, and obviously he had some injury worries last year. I think he's actually in really good nick, so I'm not really worried about the injuries to 𝗙𝗍𝗙, and it was good to get him through 90 minutes today. But we've got to have some cover centrally in the shape that we play, and we've got to have some cover for Jamie. Has got a bit of a reoccurring problem, which we're hoping isn't anywhere near as bad as it could be. So we've got just cover. So I've got cover. I've got 2 players that can play right side centre half. I've got 2 players that can play left side centre half. 3 if you include Brownie, and 2 players that can play central. So yeah, we're probably carrying a little bit more than we would, but I think the lessons we learned from last season in terms of injuries not to do that. So yeah, Grandy will be great in the dressing room, a great addition to the squad. He's already, I know the lads have already, sort of felt his influence in the session on Thursday and today. So yeah, we're pleased with that.
So we have an open training session on Tuesday at Giant Axe, and then it's straight into competitive fixtures with Stafford Rangers. How important are the fans going to be to get them back in at the Giant Axe and supporting behind the team? Yeah,
it'll be great to see a few of them down on Tuesday. We've got some things going on to hopefully bring people in, and it'd be nice for the lads to have a chat with them, and for me to speak to them, and just to get that little bit of a community feel before we get started against Stafford. Undoubtedly, the volume of people that we get through the gate on Saturday is going to be important to us. I think we're setting sort of targets that start with a 5 and 850. So You know, it would be nice to get a big number in. They know that how important they are. They know the difference they can make to that team, especially when the shed end gets going second half. So we need them all there, and we need them in fine voice, and we need them to bring the mums, dads, sisters, brothers, friends, dogs, cats, everything. Do we take cats?
Yes.
So yeah, massive week at the football club. It just feels like we've built to this point, and obviously the lads have then got a responsibility to go and show what we're capable of, and what we have shown that we're capable of in pre-season, because there's no excuses this year. I came last 2 pre-seasons and said how awful they've been. No excuses this time. No injuries, really. And, full complement to pick from, which makes it tough for me, but no excuses. We need to go out there against Stafford and give a performance that replicates the building process that we've done in pre-season.
Thank you ever so much, Mark. Best of luck on Saturday.
Thank you. Lancaster!